Theme number 2. Are you ready for this? Today we have, it's kind of a 2-for-1 because I have a very special guest with me today. And I know some of you have met Jackie before, and some may not know who Jackie is. So I thought, you know what, let's bring Jackie on. Let's introduce her to everyone. And she is one of my dearest friends that I've had for many, many, many years. So we're going to learn a little bit more about Jackie, and then we're going to talk about how to make the friendship block. I figured it was very fitting for today.
Oh, sweet.
The friendship block.
It's one of my favorite blocks, actually.
It's really a fun one.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to, in conjunction with teaching you how the block comes together, I'm going to talk about how you can chain piece a little bit faster a block altogether. We're going to figure out how do we do it rather than just chain piece one at a time. We're going to see how chain piecing can actually be taken another step further by putting the block together all at once. You ready for that, Jackie?
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah.
So first of all, Janice says we love Jackie. Yay! And so does Annette. Those
cute.
I know some
I
of our locals.
Of yes.
Yes. So
and
Lisa. Yep. These are all of our friends who live here locally. Know who you are.
Yeah.
But for those who might not know you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Now's your moment. Tell us.
I stay clear of the camera. I don't do the camera thing.
I don't know why. You are a load of fun. But Jackie, why don't you tell them what you do here now? But your role has changed over the years.
Yes.
Because Jackie actually has been with me since day one. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yes. I remember when Kris opened her shop for the first time. It was so exciting. I remember folding fat quarters, getting ready for the opening day, and it was just exciting because I loved it. Yes. And right now I actually am, I've had many roles here, and currently I receive all of the fun boxes of product. So I get to see things firsthand, and that's not a good thing.
And no paycheck for you.
Nope, not at all. And then I take care of making sure I receive them accounting wise. So do a little bit of math and accountability there. So
she's huge here. It's a big deal. And she also you do a lot of our ordering for when it comes to notions and patterns and things like that. Kimberbell.
Yes, I do Kimberbell and thread. And
we talk about you every week on Comment Sold. We always say, this is Jackie's new curated thread bundle. Now you know who the Jackie is.
All those three threads from Hemingworth. I get those together. So so it's fun. I have had lots of roles. And so I've loved being a part of this.
It's
so
awesome
I had to take a little break for a little bit to take care of some family matters, but I'm glad to be back. And
definitely
it's been a big part of my life. So
I know it's been wonderful, but we knew each other even before that.
Then. Yes, we did.
Yeah. So it's been a long time.
I used to be their teleprompter.
When
my they did
the DIY
dish. And so
that's when we could follow a script, and now we have no script.
Yeah.
It's off the cuff more.
Traveling with them to Nate Burke's show and
that's right.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. So
we got a lot of history.
Yeah, we do.
For sure. So tell us about your family.
I have 5 children, and I have twins, actually, twin boys. I'm an empty nester and a first-time grandma my first one will be a year tomorrow. And so I'll have 3 baby boys by the end of August.
Yeah.
So
when is Samantha's due? The end of August.
The 22nd. Okay. Yeah.
And they're all boys. Oh my goodness.
So
wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
Wow. So so you've been very busy.
Yes. Yes.
So unfortunately her little grandsons all live close by.
Yeah, the two that are born right now
Mhm.
are. So I have a feeling that Sam will probably come up a lot. She's just in Salt Lake, so it's
Yeah.
not too far.
No. What
So-
do you have a name? Did they call you a special name like Grandma Jack?
Grandma.
Just Grandma.
Yeah.
I think Grandma Jack would be cute.
Grandma Jack.
Yeah, Grandma Jack. It's so cute.
Grandma Jackson.
Grandma Jack.
Grandma Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. Mary says, cousin crew.
Yes, it's so fun.
Mhm.
I can't wait for them to get older. So it's just a whole new world being a grandma.
I bet. I look forward to that one day.
Yeah, it's fun.
So how did your sewing journey get started, Jackie?
I always loved to sew. In high school, I actually did a lot of garment sewing.
Mm-hmm.
I made, I remember making this one peach florally dress that had this lace inserts, in high school. And I was so proud of that. And then I did some sewing when my kids were little. And then I started quilting about that same time and just took it and ran with it. So I've loved quilting, and I've done a lot of hand work. I did hardanger and I did cross stitch.
Oh, that's right. Hardanger. That's not easy.
It's so fun. I love doing stitching.
Yeah.
So, I did all of the crafts actually. The toll painting,
oh yeah, you've been through
crocheting,
all of them, and the scrapbooking and the card making. Yeah.
Yes, I have. So I love crafting and creating.
Life's too short to not just go for something that you want to try to learn.
It's true.
New,
Yeah.
Have fun, try it all. Why not?
I'm not good at anything, but
I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that.
I've been able to at least dabble in a bunch of different things.
You love machine embroidery too.
Oh my goodness. I remember that first time Kris and Kim came to my house and introduced me to machine embroidery. I think that night I purchased my machine after getting together with them. And fun. I have loved it ever since. It is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Over piecing. I'd rather.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love it.
And I know there's a favorite fabric that you are always drawn to.
I'm a big 30s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I said 30s, and I do love the traditionals. That's kind of my forte. Yeah, but it always changes because.
Oh yeah. I know that 30s are kind of timeless.
Yeah.
You definitely know they're 30s, but people have loved them through the decades, right?
Yes. Yep. I'm drawn to those because they make me happy. So
they're all have cheerful those and bright and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, good deal. So, all right.
Yeah, that's a little bit about me and my journey.
That's awesome. So, Miss Jackie, are you ready to learn our block for today?
I am so ready.
You know how to make it, but this is the friendship block. And let's see, I've got my sample here somewhere. Right here. Okay, so if you've been following us all week, then you know we have been dancing with the stars.
Dancing
with the stars. There we go.
Here we go.
Yeah. So today is our final day of Star Week because we're doing it in conjunction with the 4th of July and everything. So we've done 4 different stars already. And this is the 5th one. And that is called the Friendship Block, which I felt like was very fitting for today. And the fun thing about this is it's made with, can you guess what? Half square triangles, right? Half square triangles. We love those half square triangles. And, but you can get lots of different looks depending on what this center square ends up being. So what I mean by that is I'm going to show you a picture here. Let me bring it up on my screen. This is one that I had designed a couple years back that is called the Ever Wreathing Quilt. And it's basically just friendship stars, but I changed the center block to be a red to represent holly berries. And this was a Christmas quilt that we put together. And it has a 3-dimensional bow on it at the top of the wreath. And then I used an Essex linen for the background. But all that is a friendship block, which is just, again, made up of half square triangles. So there are some really, really fun things you can do with it. I've seen them in so many different variations. And where we've talked a lot about half square triangles this week, right? Most of the blocks, in fact, I would say every single one of them, except for yesterday's, it was more of a folded star. If you saw we called it Shoot for the Stars pincushion, but it is based on a folded star method, which you fold a square in half, fold it in half again to create that triangle, but it's 3-dimensional, which is kind of fun. But all the other blocks that we've done have basically been based off of half square triangles. So, Diana says this is also known as the Mississippi Star block. I didn't know that. Interesting.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. And so, and it is kind of funny that a lot of blocks have different names depending on what parts of the country you're in or whatever. So it's kind of cool. So the Friendship Star block, again, it doesn't matter what size you do it. But today we're going to show you based off of 3-inch squares that we're starting off with. We're going to actually trim them down to be 2.5 inches, show you how that goes together. And then if you're thinking, oh, I already know how to do half square triangles, stay tight, hold tight here, because I'm going to show you how to take it just one step further with how to chain piece this one block without trimming your threads after every single time. Okay.
Awesome.
So, okay, why don't you go ahead and show them? Let's see. Let's pull. Yeah. And by the way, we'll tell you right now, Jackie's going to show it to you, that we are going to let you download this pattern for free today. The Ever Wreathing Quilt.
This is really throwing me off.
Because it's a little backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's kind of weird.
So you know how they do those little?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm doing boomerangs.
My own little boomerang. Boomerang.
Okay.
There we go. And then you can see right here, you can see how those blocks come together, which is kind of fun. Oh, here's another picture of up close. So you could do this like as just a pillow all on its own, as a single wreath, or you could do a wall hanging with all 4 wreaths.
Really cool. I love the dark.
Totally up to you.
I love the dark background that you use, the gray. I think it really shows those wreaths off well.
Thank you. I like it too. So this is going to be, I already told you, part of number 3, but you can download that today for free. So
yay!
Let me show you how easy it is to bring this together, though. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab.
What do you need?
Let's get that pen.
Okay.
Oh, and Jackie, it looks like I may have forgotten to grab the Tucker trimmer.
Okay.
It's just on my cutting table. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. Pamela says she doesn't think she's actually made a half square triangle, but now she'll definitely try. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. So let's pull the screen down here. So you're going to start out with a background print and the print that you're making into your friendship star. You put right sides together. Okay. And I'm going to use the magic wand, which has a little engraved line going right down the center. And this is where I'm going to put from point to point. Now, a few of us have demonstrated this week. So if you've already seen this part will be a little bit of a review for you. Okay. So you just go ahead and do that. And Jackie, if you don't mind, I'll have you trace
do the rest of them.
Do the rest of them.
I can do that.
Each one consists of 4 half square triangles, which you only have to make 2, because each one makes 2 when you cut it in half. So the goal here is you just have to sew on each line right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and you can watch Jackie continue doing that.
Ooh, this is so fun.
Okay.
This makes me want to go home and
sew. For sure.
Okay. Just putting your right sides together.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so then at this point, I have sewn down both lines, and so I'm going to have Jackie just cut down the center while I sew this next one.
Okay. I'm going to use this.
Now I'm just showing one block, obviously. So
this is really a nice blade here.
Oh,
Could
nothing like a new blade.
I'm like, no, I'm saying no, it's not. Like, whoa, I had to really
you got to put some pressure there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you'll do that. And then I'm going to, so do you see how one actually cuts into 2? So now we have to square these up to be 2.5 inches. So I'm going to use the help of the Tucker Trimmer 1 tool. We've talked about this a lot this week. Love, love, love this. Or you could also use the Quilt in a Day ruler. There's a lot of different brands out there. But basically what you do is that there is a line here that says 2.5. I know it's really hard to see. Do I have a, there we go. Let's see if I can do this.
Here,
okay.
Our UFO.
There we go. There we go. Can you see that? Yeah. So see how this dashed line says 2.5? I'm going to place that line directly on top of my sewn line. So you can see right here. And then I can do a little trim right here. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're squaring these up to be 2.5 inches. So 2.5, I'm going to put it on the seam line. Sometimes people will get confused and think that it goes on the outside line. Nope, nope, nope. It goes on the seam line. Okay, so see, I gave it just a little trim. Then if you've been in my classes before, you know what I call this step next. I call this the Superman cut, because I pre-trim my dog ears before I open it up. And the reason why I call it the Superman cut is because it looks like a Superman emblem. It's just Chris's weird way. Okay, here we go. 2.5. Trim. Superman cut it. Okay, we've got 2 more to go. Oops.
You really have to push hard on that. Don't
Yeah,
you?
we probably need a new blade. You're right.
Yep.
Okay, and one more. 2.5 inch.
That's really cool.
What is?
I love this. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love that tool. Okay. All right. So now you can see it here. Now what you'll do is you're going to press them all out to the right side, or to one of the sides. It doesn't really matter on this one. So I'm going to do that real quick. So, oh, you know what? Let's bring that computer over here, Jackie,
okay,
because I'm going to show another quick little tool that
okay,
people have been asking about this week.
This is not attached to anything, right?
No.
Whoops, I'm going to fall over. Here we go.
There we go. Okay, so the Gypsy Quilter clapper. You guys have seen these clappers before. So a lot of people ask, how do you use them? I'm going to just give a quick press. Whoops. Put some heat on there, and then I just place it over top. You don't need to pound it. It just places right over top while I do the next one.
So then why they call it a clapper?
You don't
have to.
You don't clap.
You don't have to clap it.
No, you don't clap.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that's really cool.
It is a tailoring tool.
So I guess that what the wood does is absorb some of the heat.
Exactly.
Right?
So I just move
Okay.
it to the next one. And
Cool.
by the time I'm done with the previous one, it's, you know, the heat is now gone. So give it some heat and then just put it on here. And what it does is it just flattens that seam out really, really nice. Okay, so it just takes a few seconds. But again, you're not going like this. You just set it on there.
I always thought you had to clap it on.
Boom, boom, boom.
Like, okay.
Nope. Okay. So let's head back over to lay this out. In fact, you know what we'll do? Let's do it right over here, Jackie.
Okay.
Let's bring.
Okay. Seasickness. Sorry.
Okay. And I'm going to grab. So I also cut out some 2.5-inch blocks that I need to have as my outside pieces. So, I'll put this on in the middle.
I can't see from here. Can you see?
Yeah, you could even rest it right there.
Oh, that's even better.
That will help your.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so keep that there. All right. Okay, so I've got this one in the middle. This is going this way. It's just like putting together a little puzzle. And you can see, you know, depending on the fabrics you use, this is the cutest thing.
It
right,
is
Jackie?
cute. I love that.
Look how now you see the
gingham.
star. Yeah, I do too. Can't go wrong with gingham.
No.
There we go. And then I just put in my background squares, and I should have one more.
So right here? That's the wrong
3
one.
inch. I might have forgotten to do that. Let me just trim this up real quick. Make this a 2.5 inch. Hold on just a second. Okay, and 2.5 inch. There we go. Okay, so now I have, this is, oh, you know what I did? No, that's not what I wanted. I want the background. Hello. Come on, Kris. Get yourself together. Okay, let me try this again. Oh, you know, if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you do? Okay, so Jackie, why don't you answer questions while I hurry and get.
Okay. All right.
Sleep.
Do we have any questions?
Here's 2 more blocks. Let me grab my other fabric here.
Okay,
what
show grab.
questions do we have?
Let's see. Will today's pattern be in the club? She said yes. It probably will, but it's a free download today.
No.
Right?
What's that?
One of the questions is, will today's pattern be in the club?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Kathy, for answering that.
Okay. What else do we have?
Should the background be yellow? Yes.
Yes.
Whoops, we figured that one out.
As Kris, what does it do? As Kris
Could you
says,
just
not as
switch
I do.
out the middle to be?
You could switch out the middle to be anyone.
Yeah,
that
you
want.
could.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah. That looks a lot better, don't you think? There we go. Ta-da! Let me get a bird's eye of this real quick. There we go. That looks a lot better. Imagine. Okay. So now I'm going to come over here to the machine. I love having this extension table. If you've got an extension table, use it to your advantage for sure, because it's so nice to have everything laid out right here. So what I'm going to do first, let's come just a tad closer right here. I'm going to chain piece this whole block I'm going to sew this one and this one together. And rather than sewing the third one on, I'm actually going to then sew this and this, and then I'm going to sew this and this one. And then I'm going to add the third onto each one. So if that made no sense whatsoever, it's okay. We'll just watch this. Okay, so again, right sides together. And I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance set up already. This is how you do blocks quickly. All right, here we go. I'm going to grab my second row. This was my second row. And now I'm going to place it this way. So again, I'm chain piecing, and now I grab my third row and chain piece the first two together. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now, I can pull this out. I can cut that if I want to. But you see, I have 3 rows here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first row, open it up, and add my third piece onto it without ever cutting these. Does that make sense, Jackie?
Yes.
What I'm doing here?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm just going to place this one right there.
Just ignore the lines that are on the yellow pieces.
Yeah.
I think you don't have your thread. You ran a thread.
Sheesh.
Came unthreaded.
All right.
That never happens to anyone, right?
No, never. It's a good thing this baby is so easy to thread. Okay.
I think you should have a contest to see how fast you can thread the machine.
There you go.
How many seconds?
How many seconds?
Guinness,
I can do it in
Guinness Book of World Records.
2.87 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right. Now my second row is this one. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. You can see right
This
here.
is your center square.
And I'm just going to, I pulled this third one over. So now I'm going to sew that on. But you see, I did not cut in between. Okay, and now my third row, I'm going to open it up, but it's still attached to all of this. And I'm going to take my last piece and add it here. Okay, and put my presser foot down. And there we go. All right. Okay, so here we go. I have a block that is almost all ready. See how they're all together, all the rows.
By the threads. That's awesome.
And now all I have to do, and I'm not even going to press it right now. All I have to do is I take this and I just flip it over, and with my fingers, I can feel that one seam is going in one direction, the opposite seam is going in the opposite direction, so that I can nest those up together. And when I say nest, what I mean is that those two seams are like butting up next to each other. They're like giving each other a tight little squeeze right there. Okay, so I can feel it with my fingers. So you can see I'm not even pinning. And I do the same thing. I'm going to get a little bit closer, and then I will match these ones up. One seam going in one direction, the opposite seam going in the other direction, so that they just nestle up next to each other. Okay, and then, whoops, put that down. Okay, and then I have just the one more to go. I probably didn't even need to cut that, but I just did. You can see, this way I can show you. See how that's just hanging there? It's dangling there. Do you know you can do this with a whole entire quilt if you wanted to? I'm too chicken to do it with a whole quilt. I'll be honest with you.
But I think it helps with your nesting. I don't mind
doing it with blocks.
Don't you think it helps with your nesting?
Yeah.
It keeps your seams, at least I find that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm putting right sides together. Oh yeah, absolutely, Jackie. And I'm going to place this down. Okay, I'm getting a little closer, and I'm going to make sure one is going in one direction, and I'm going to force that baby. If it's not going on its own, I will force it. I'm the boss of this. I'm going to tell it where to go, right?
Yes.
There we go. There you have it. All done. So
that's nifty.
Ta-da! There we go. My block is all done.
Oh, that's cute.
And now I can press it. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
So my points look not too bad.
They look pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Because we're standing right close next to each other. Trying to sew.
See how amazing this looks? It's incredible. Galloping horse, man. Boom, 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 boom. No, I'm just kidding. It actually doesn't look too bad. but I can now press it all out there too. And then when I press it, I could put that clapper, this little guy, this little puppy, right on there. After I press it, lift it up, and let it go.
I'm gonna have to try one of those.
There you go.
Yay.
Now, if you're going to do, we can sit back down. Whew. All right.
That was
bravo, Diana said.
like,
thanks, Diana. Okay. Now, if you plan on doing the ever wreathing quilt, then it is a little bit different because you're going to add in some additional, rather than these squares being the background,
just the solid.
It's more half square triangles again, because now we got to get it into a wreath formation. So pay attention. Let me get a different picture here. There we go. See how it needs to be in a wreath formation. So those half square triangles change up just a little bit, but you get the idea of what's happening here. Okay. So anyway, and then I also tell you how to make a bow on here. We've talked about that on a 3-at-3 before, but it's just a fun, it's just a really fun little project to make.
Can I have this?
Yeah,
Thanks.
you can. I'm so generous.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. And then you can make these cute little things. And, you know, I don't know. They're just so fun.
I remember the old commercials for the clapper that turned your lights on and off.
Clap on.
Yes.
Clap off.
Okay, now I'm going to be singing
Clap
that all
on,
the rest
clap
of the day.
off. The clapper.
Thanks, Linda. It's one of those things.